In this video, I'm going to show you a slightly easier way to reserve a room or a resource in Outlook web app. And so as you can see, I'm on my calendar, and I think it's probably works best if you're in work week or week when you're making your reservations. And as you can see over here, I have a check mark in front of my personal calendar. And in this example, I am going to reserve a room and a resource for Thursday the 25th. So the way I like to go about this is I like to click on my start time. So if my start time is going to be first block, I would double click on 7:30. So I just go right into that cell and I double click, and what that does is open the properties to put in an event in my calendar. You also want to make sure that you get the duration. So in this case, I want it to be 90 minutes, and I'm going to schedule a computer lab. So when you do schedule a room or a resource, it automatically pulls your name, so you don't have to put that in there. So at the high school, we do something like this, block 1, and then we put in the name of the class. So I'm going to put in a class name. I got my duration, and this is the easier way to reserve the room or the resource, and shout out to Kim in the World Language Department for teaching me this. So you will click on Scheduling Assistant. And in this case, if it's a room that I want to reserve, down at the bottom there's a button that says Add Room. And I want a computer lab, and so what happens is all these rooms that are reservable through this system during the school day will be listed. I'm going to go down to the Hopkins High School ones, and I'm going to assume that I want a computer lab here. So I am going to choose West 161. Now I notice as I look in here that another one of our rooms, which is West 252, is missing. I think that the system is smart enough to know that it's not going to make it available to me based on the duration and the time that I chose. So I'm going to choose this lab right here. And if you look side by side from 7:30, there's a little box around here. This is the computer lab. This is my calendar. And there's nothing in here that would indicate that it is being used at this time. So if I want to reserve it, I click OK, and then I would click Send, and that would finalize my reservation. Now I'm going to discard this because I want to show you a second example, and this time I'm going to reserve a resource. So not an actual room, but a cart of computers. Again, double click on my start time. I'm going to put in some information here. It probably varies from building to building, but this is how the high school does it. I want it for my biology class in first block. Oops. All right. I'm going to, I have my start time automatically because I clicked on that cell originally, but I want to have my duration. So I'm going to go up to my scheduling assistant. And if it is a resource, not a room, you go up to attendees. So it's treating it like a person that's going to attend that meeting or that event, which is weird, but that's how Microsoft does it. So I'm going to type in the prefix for my school that I'm going to reserve it from, which is Hopkins High School. HHS- is our prefix. And then I click search to see those things that can be reserved during the school day at Hopkins High School. So I'm going to look through here, and I want a cart of computers. So I'm going to choose cart C. And now this is important because, as you can see, I wanted to reserve that from 7:30 to 9. And I can see that Sue Westergaard already has that. So I could take that right off of there, and I could look again and search for a different cart. So now I'm going to take, well, maybe D is available. And sure enough, when I put D on there side by side, so here's cart D, and there's my calendar, there is not a reservation already in place for cart D. So I can go ahead and click OK, and I can click Send. And I'm going to discard it because I don't really want that reservation. And hopefully you'll find that to be a slightly easier way to see when a room or a resource is free.